Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning and welcome to our annual Memorial Day celebration and recognition. A little bit different this year. We have to do this to protect everyone. And speaking of protecting everyone, let us not forget all of those that have served this country and this community and gave the supreme sacrifice of their life for our freedom. Freedom is not free. Freedom comes with a price. And so many people gave their lives so that we could gather here today, albeit virtual. We could gather here today and other times across this country. We are certainly very, very fortunate. Being an unusual Memorial Day, I would just ask that everyone take a moment and think about what Memorial Day stands for. To think of those individuals that fought so hard for us, and to make sure that we take a couple of minutes out of our schedule today to recognize and thank all of them that served so well, so proudly, and for our overall freedom. Every year we're fortunate to have a representative of the armed services to speak at this event, and today is no different. In fact, this is not the first time that we have heard from Commander Gough. We're so fortunate that he has been a key part of our community and has done so much to help us here in Penfield. Rick Gough is a native of Kentucky. He was born and educated there and entered the military in 1968. He served in the U.S. Army in Korea, assigned to the 7th Infantry Division, which was one of the 2 U.S. Army divisions responsible for security along the DMZ during that period. That saw the highest number of U.S. casualties since the signing of the armistice in 1953. While serving in Korea, his older brother Bob was serving in the Marine Corps in Vietnam, while his younger brother Jim was serving in Germany. Having fulfilled his military obligation, he returned home and married his childhood sweetheart, Pat. They had 3 children, Rachel, Kate, and Frank. In 1978, Rick's job as an industrial sales representative brought him to Penfield. He bought a home and spent the next 18 years doing what his dads do, whenever the kids sport and after schedules call for. After the kids left home, Rick became involved in the local veterans community. He is the post commander for Braman Post 1229 of the American Legion, past post and county commander of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, a member of several other organizations including AMVETS, Korean Defense Veterans of America, and Voiture 111 of the 40 and 8. In addition, he has served as a member of the Monroe County Veterans Advisory Committee and volunteers at the Canandaigua VA Medical Facility. In his spare time, he enjoys traveling, is an avid reader, particularly medieval history, U.S. history, and anything by Hemingway. His latest adventure is serving as a facilitator of Penfield Recreation Deer Program, daytime education at recreation, focusing on such diverse topics as medieval history, art history, the Old West, and his latest class on the great explorers in history. He also enjoys spoiling his 6 grandchildren. Please join me in welcoming Rick Gough as our guest speaker today.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Good morning. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Town Supervisor Tony LaFountain, the town board, the staff from Penfield Recreation, particularly Sabrina Renner, and the folks here from Penfield Cable TV for inviting me here to speak this morning. I have a brief speech that I hope says everything that I'm trying to convey today. So, with that being said, we will begin. Every crisis has new heroes. During the 9/11 attacks, they were the first responders running into burning and crumbling buildings as others ran out. Now, during the coronavirus pandemic, the most visible heroes are the healthcare professionals who are saving others and risking their own lives while doing so. These heroes have much in common with the people that we are here to honor today, Americans' fallen veterans. They are men and women who have sacrificed their own lives so others could live. They are both elite and ordinary. They are elite in the sense of character. Giving your life to others so others could live is the ultimate definition of selfless. They are ordinary in the fact that they represent the diverse fabric of our country. They are rich and poor, black and white, male and female. They come from every ethnicity and background. In short, they look like any one of us. As we celebrate the selfless and untiring performance of the healthcare workers during the COVID-19 pandemic, it recalls the military medics, doctors and nurses who sacrificed their lives while treating others on the battlefield. One such hero was pharmacist mate 3rd Class Jack Williams. The Navy Reserve Corpsman was only 20 years old when he landed on Iwo Jima 75 years ago. On March 3, 1945, James Naughton, a Marine in Williams' unit, was wounded by a grenade. While under intense enemy fire, Williams dragged Naughton to a shallow depression and treated his wounds. Williams used his own body as a screen and was shot 4 times. Yet he continued. After he treated Naughton, Williams dressed his own wounds. He then proceeded to treat another Marine, despite his own intense pain. While heading to the rear, he was hit by a sniper's bullet and killed. For his actions, Petty Officer Williams was awarded the Medal of Honor. We also remember Army veterans like Lieutenant Sharon Lane. According to her biographer, Philip Bigler, Lieutenant Lane threw herself into her work as a nurse. While serving in Colorado, she requested a transfer to Vietnam. There, at least, you are busy 12 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week, she said in a 1968 letter to her parents. Her dedication was obvious, even as she treated enemy Viet Cong soldiers who would return the favor by kicking, cursing, and spitting at their American captors. In the early morning of June 8, 1969, Sharon's tour of duty ended. A Soviet-built rocket struck the hospital. Lieutenant Sharon A. Lane was killed in action at age 25. Of the names of 8 nurses etched in the granite on the Vietnam War Memorial for having died in Vietnam, Sharon Lane was the only one killed as a direct result of enemy fire. If she were still here, her skills as a nurse might still be benefiting us during the current crisis. But not all the heroes working during the COVID-19 pandemic are in the healthcare industry. Grocers, first responders, postal workers, delivery workers, and drive-through restaurant employees are just a few of the many people that we rely on to provide vital services for society while risking their own safety. The military also has heroes in every occupational field. Truck drivers, cooks, and administrative clerks have all paid the ultimate price. At sea, on land, or in the air, military service requires great risk. Roy Knight Jr. was a pilot in the U.S. Air Force on May 19, 1967. He was shot down while attacking a target on the Ho Chi Minh Trail in Laos. He was posthumously promoted to colonel. Last year, a joint team from the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency discovered and later identified Colonel Knight's remains. When his remains arrived at Dallas's Love Field, a crowd had gathered to witness the dignified transfer of the flag-draped casket from the Southwest Airlines jet into the receptive arms of the Military Honor Guard. One observer reported that the entire crowd fell silent. The Southwest flight was piloted by another Air Force veteran, Colonel Knight's son, Brian. Brian Knight was only 5 years old when he said goodbye to his father as the elder Knight left for Vietnam. This is yet another legacy that these heroes leave behind, a legacy that includes their sons, daughters, grieving parents, grandparents, and friends. Their heroic acts are sometimes performed to protect those with whom they serve. Corporal Jason Dunham was a squad leader with the 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines in Iraq. On April 14, 2004, his squad approached a Toyota Land Cruiser. After his squad discovered AK-47s in the vehicle, the enemy insurgents exited and engaged in hand-to-hand fighting with Jason's unit. The driver dropped a grenade. To save his fellow Marines, Corporal Dunham made the ultimate sacrifice. He threw himself on the grenade and tried to use his helmet to shield the blast. Severely wounded by the grenade's fragments, Corporal Dunham was taken off life support 8 days later. Corporal Dunham died so other Marines could live. He too was awarded the Medal of Honor for his gallantry. Approximately 1 million men and women of the U.S. military have lost their lives in defense of our nation since the founding of this great republic. Not all have died from enemy fire. Some have died from diseases that have too often festered around war zones. Other deaths from disease and accidents outnumber casualties caused by enemy weapons. During the Spanish-American War, 60 soldiers of the all-black 24th Infantry Regiment volunteered to serve as nurses. 36 of them would later die of yellow fever or malaria. A generation later, the flu would kill nearly 16,000 U.S. soldiers in France during World War I. Another 30,000 American service members died in stateside camps. Of the 7 men from Penfield who died in service during World War I, 4 died from the Spanish flu and associated diseases. Chester Mundy, Fred Palmer, Fred Witt, and Leland Erkwitz paid the ultimate price by serving our country. These men could have isolated safely in their homes, but they knew they had an important job to do, a mission to accomplish. They were all on a mission to serve. Even when the enemy is an invisible virus or a microscopic germ, the sacrifices made are just as meaningful. The U.S. military has already lost service members to COVID-19. This Memorial Day, as we continue to honor those who fell in battle, let us also pause to remember those who have also sacrificed their lives while serving others. May God bless them, and may God bless you for remembering them today. Thank you.
At this time, we'll begin the presentation of roses. This has been an aspect of our program that has grown in popularity. It is something that is very touching and means a lot to recognize those family members, friends, and others that have done so much to serve this country and this community. I ask that we all take a moment and reflect the importance of this very special moment.
Robert H. Gough, U.S. Army Air Corps, World War II. Gregory J. Gough, Crew Chief, United States Marines. George Willen, United States Army, prisoner of war, Civil War. Frank H. Vagley, United States Marines, World War II. William Bitts Vagley, United States Army, World War I. Joseph Uckotter, United States Navy, World War II. Anne Uckotter, United States Navy, World War II. Ensign Sean Duffy, aviator, United States Navy. Lieutenant Richard Light, B-26 bomber pilot, Army Air Force, killed in action over Germany. Al DeBuno, United States Army. Private First Class Thomas Quinlan, mortar gunner, United States Army, 12th Armored Infantry Division, Purple Heart recipient. Sergeant Russell Sargent, Tech Sergeant, United States Army, prisoner of war, World War II. Lieutenant Corporal Joseph Colorio, United States Marines, Vietnam, 1969. Private First Class Charles Rokel, United States Marines, Vietnam, 1969. Sam Falzolari, United States Army. Bill Clark, United States Army, Okinawa. Private Joseph J. Tumino, United States Army, Merrill's Marauders, China, Burma, India Theater, World War II. Corporal James P. Hodgetts, United States Marines. Burt Daniels, United States Army, World War II. Bruce Daniels, United States Navy, World War II. Rex Daniels, United States Army, killed in action, Vietnam. Len Bouchard, United States Army, Vietnam. Staff Sergeant Wilbur H. Bill Cooper, United States Army, 94th Infantry Division, General Patton's 3rd Army, Battle of the Bulge. Major Theodore J. Vall, Chemical Warfare, United States Army, World War II, Africa and Burma. Petty Officer 2nd Class MBM-2 Scott Chisholm, Boatswain Mate, United States Coast Guard, Line of Duty Death, March 24, 2001. Seaman S.N. Chris Farabee, United States Coast Guard, Line of Duty Death, March 24, 2001. Staff Sergeant Christopher Dill, United States Army, Rochester-based 98th Division, killed in action April 4, 2005, Iraq. First Class Seaman Thomas H. Shaw, United States Navy, 1943 to 1945. Airman First Class Andrew E. Strawhand, United States Air Force, 1951 to 1955. Staff Sergeant John A. LaPola, United States Army, O Company, 75th Infantry, 82nd Airborne Division, killed in action April 15, 1969, Vietnam. Lieutenant Clarence Bergman, United States Army Air Corps, World War II. Sergeant Hy Bergman, United States Army, World War II. Lieutenant First Class Harry Bergman, United States Army, World War II. Petty Officer Second Class Jerry Bergman, United States Navy, World War II. Pharmacist Mate First Class Charles B. Leston, United States Navy. Peter D. Braman, United States Army, killed in action, France, 1918. Robert C. Braman, United States Army, killed in action, France, 1918. James Haas, United States Army, 1941 to 2020. Staff Sergeant Robert Nelson Funk, United States Army. Senior Master Sergeant Rexford John DeWispelaire, United States Air Force.
One of the things that began several years ago is with the VFW Post 820 starting an essay contest, and that was primarily with junior high students. Upon the Post dissolution in 2014, they made a generous donation to the town to continue this contest. This contest was so popular, and the members at that time and senior leadership team wanted to make sure that that continued. This year's topic was, what makes America great? Members of the American Legion Braman Post 1229 judged all the essays and have recognized the following. For third place, Ryan Zebik, a 7th grader from Bay Trail, will now present his essay to all of you.
Americans all over have recently become closer due to the COVID-19 pandemic. People are donating life-saving materials to those who need it, and essential workers are working more than ever. Although these times are tough, we as Americans are working together for the people. In the United States, there is over 18 million healthcare workers and countless other essential workers. These people are staying alive from the generosity of people in their community. In Monroe County, Terry Dacey, owner of Hadlock's House of Paint, received a shipment of over 6,000 N95 masks in March. Immediately, he took them to hospitals in our area, as well as FoodLink, which provides 4,000 meals daily in our community. In Texas, a family is producing ventilator-type helmets for those who are not able to get on a ventilator. They're producing over 1,000 a week and have been contacted by major companies such as Virgin Galactic to assist with manufacturing. Both acts have saved countless lives and kept families together. Doctors, nurses, and the entire healthcare industry are going above and beyond to save people in their community. Healthcare workers are on the front line and are risking their lives by helping patients who are sick with COVID-19 as well as many other illnesses. Many are working overtime and getting paid less. Nurses are taking care of patients while jeopardizing their own health. Families are coming together and helping each other out. Some people are shopping for the elderly who cannot shop themselves as it is too dangerous. Others are buying food for those who cannot afford it. Some families are using their 3D printers in order to make plastic face coverings, while others are sewing homemade masks and donating to their community. A farmer in Kansas, Dennis Ruckney, has a wife who is very ill. He found 5 N95 masks while cleaning out old farm equipment and kept 4 for themselves. He chose to send the 5th mask to Governor Andrew Cuomo and included a letter instructing him to give it to a nurse somewhere in New York. All over the country, people and businesses are giving pre-made meals away to essential workers as well as whoever shows up. Even though a lot of people are struggling in times like this, there is still good deeds being done around us. America is great because the people that live here take care of others no matter what the situation is.
Thank you, Ryan, for taking the opportunity to follow up with this program and submitting your essay. It was wonderful and really helps bring the meaning of this program together today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our second place winner is Olivia Domenico, a 6th grader at Bay Trail. Olivia, would you please give us your essay for everyone to enjoy?
What makes America great? In the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson states American citizens have certain rights including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness is a right that allows Americans to live their lives freely, doing things that makes them happy as long as their actions don't break the law. These rights that are given to Americans are very essential to living a safe and enjoyable life. America has provided many people with a safe environment to live in. Immigrants have come from all over the world to America. Some of my ancestors and relatives have even came to America from Russia, Italy, and Poland. People come here for better safety, more jobs, and improved health care. Governments in different places of the world have not provided people with the things they need to survive. This can lead to diseases, poverty, and many other negative things in life. In America, citizens are taken care of. The National Health Institute is one of the many examples of how America takes care of their citizens. The National Health Institute is a part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. It is the nation's medical research agency that makes important discoveries that improve health and save lives. American soldiers have risked their lives to protect America. Life would not be the same without the soldiers and veterans that fight for our country. American soldiers have fought for this country in many devastating wars, including World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War. In the Vietnam War alone, approximately 58,220 American soldiers lost their life. The bravery from these soldiers protects America and makes it as safe as it is and a better life for all of us American citizens. America has welcomed people into a better life. Many immigrants who have come from dangerous places in the world have found a much better, safer living in America. All these reasons, among many, continue to make America great.
Olivia, thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. What makes America great? This is a theme that I know that all of you students have done such a great job. Congratulations to you as being our second place winner. Thank you for everything that you've done to support this Memorial Day recognition. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I would like to recognize Emma Garrigan, a 7th grader at Bay Trail. Emma is the first place essay winner, and I would ask that this time that she please present her essay.
About 244 years ago, thousands of men left their family to join the Continental Army. They left everything they loved and owned to fight for what they believed in, which was American independence. They stood up to the largest army and navy at the time, and we fought to become independent. The men who fought should be remembered for their bravery and sacrifice. On Christmas Day, 1776, Washington risked everything he had and faced thousands of Hessian soldiers when he crossed the Delaware. The battle won them weaponry and medical supplies, which greatly contributed to the war. This was the first battle won by the colonists. This allowed for the Declaration of Independence to be signed on 1776, marking the day our founding fathers declared America a new and independent country. Those 13 colonies fought for the independence we have today, and that was just the beginning. Part of what makes America so great is that our country fought for our independence. We stood up to the British and declared our independence. Along with fighting to become an independent nation, we also have our freedom. There are many different definitions or perspectives of the word freedom, but to me and hopefully many others, it means that even though there are laws, we can change and/or alter them, and anyone can pursue their path of happiness. For example, the cause of the Civil War was a disagreement. The disagreement was settled in a 4-year-long war, but that's what's so fascinating about America. It's a constant pull and tug of this government and the citizens. Some may not agree with me, but not everyone gets that kind of opportunity. Every day something could be changed, and that struggle to find a balance is key. If you think about it, this is the only way to be truly free. Being free is not the same thing as no rules. It's about editing, rewriting, and changing the rules and laws to fit the wants and needs of the citizens. My final reason of explaining why America is great is that Americans dedicate their time and hard work to themselves and the nation. When thousands of people sign up to serve, it proves America and its government must be doing something right. Seriously, millions of people are ready to risk their lives, and we should not only be grateful, but extremely proud. USA citizens are some of the most hard-working people. Working Americans strive every day to provide the best life for their family. On Memorial Day, I want to wrap up by thanking those who have served so we can have the America we have today. God bless those who are brave enough to risk their lives so we can keep doing the things we love.
Emma, thank you very much. You should be very proud of this essay, as well as your parents, family members, and friends. I would ask at this time that we recognize and thank all 3 of our essay winners. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for the support, and best wishes to all of you. Again, recognizing Emma, Olivia, and Ryan.
Thank you.
I would like to recognize Troop 312. Troop 312 has been a very integral part of this program for many, many years. While they've helped us set up in the past, today they're here to just do the flag, and I'd like to recognize all the service that they have provided to the town of Penfield. I ask at this time that they please raise the flag, lower to half staff. Thank you. I would like to recognize and thank everyone that participated today. Albeit a little bit different than normal, and I hope next year at this time we can be together again. But thank you for taking the time, this very special time, to recognize this very, very important day, Memorial Day. As you finish watching this, the one thing that I will ask that you please consider, and that is just take a moment and reflect on today and how important it is, because without all of the effort that has been done up to this point by so many service members, up to and including losing their lives, we wouldn't be able to enjoy what we do today. It's so important that we never forget that. I look forward to seeing you in person next year. Thank you very much, and thank you for recognizing this very important day.